Hello, Evrinya. It's time for the news. It was one that fucked with his PC and you couldn't predict what was going to happen. He said I can't say anything more though. Oh, interesting. Is he going to play it on stream? That'd be cool. Hey, Cramped. How you going? Cramped Zeus. I never know. I always take one side of the name and I never know which side I want to do. But news time. Like I said, there's a decent amount to get through today. I had to prune a lot. Hopefully we can get through it all. There is a couple of videos I do want to watch today because the Nintendo Direct did happen. If the partnership one, which had a few good things in it. I probably would rather watch some of the Japanese one, but it's in Japanese, so you know. Hey Rosary, how you going? Alright, let's jump into it. Sekiro's Shadow Die Twice Game of the Year Edition launched. I really want to play this. It has extra challenge modes and stuff like that. I've only done one path. I will return to Sekiro, and there is a high chance that I will play it on stream. I've already done the true route, so I probably will do the other two routes on the next playthrough, and probably play these extra content. This game is fucking amazing. It's very tough for a lot of Souls players, I find. Even for a Souls-like, even though it kind of isn't one. But it's very rewarding. That last boss kicked my ass, by the way. It's like a 4-phased fight in a game where you only have 2 lives, I think. Very rough, but very, very rewarding. He'll never play it on stream. We have to make him play it, Pixie. Now that we know, we have to make him play it. I'm gonna call Crab Zeus Ped Zoo. What? But yeah. So if you guys don't already own Sekiro, this is probably a good chance to go get it with the Game of the Year edition out. So, yeah. Free content, I believe, for people who didn't get it. Oh. Oculus and Facebook. We always like to talk about Facebook and just the amazing things they do for everyone in the industry. So, if you guys haven't heard, Facebook has been pushing more and more into their gaming divisions, which has not really been them pushing into gaming. It's more pushing into marketing for people that have their stuff. In particular, now the Oculus seems to be very heavily impacted by it, unfortunately. So, people who bought the Oculus, by the way, originally it wasn't owned by Facebook, so it's one of those things where if you were one of the early adapters for that VR headset, you are now being penalized by owning that particular brand, because there is a lot of problems, including the fact that you need a Facebook account, including the fact that you need to have personal data associated to it, emails, and now it seems like if you don't want to have a Facebook account, it will just straight up wipe all your purchases because your Oculus account is directly linked to a Facebook account. Holy shit, that's a very terrible thing that's happened, and I really hope that some sort of consumer law affairs group does get involved, because that is pretty fucking illegal, especially in Australia, and I know parts of Europe. They would stamp down on that. But, you know, Tech Central America, it's not really, they don't really give a shit about the laws. There's a lot of just cowboy stuff going on, but hopefully something happens. They have a lot of money, but it is what it is. Just keep an eye on Facebook and gaming. They want to do things to the industry, and I feel like hopefully people start pushing back. This isn't cool. This shouldn't be okay. But yeah, that's happening. Sorry if you own an Oculus. Persona 5 Scramble localization not mentioned at Koei Tecmo's Q2. So, really fucking weird. Scramble sold really well. It's a really good game. But for some reason it wasn't mentioned. The fact that Royale came to the West and there's still no mention of the translation for this game. We've had every Persona game basically translated and brought over. But them avoiding this one, very strange. It looks very, very good, and it's a follow-up. It's actual canon follow-up lore to the base Persona 5 story. So it better come over, because I really want to play this game. But yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Atlas is a strange company, so hey, gotta be patient, I guess, in this one. And just harass them. Go harass them. Go send them things and be like, we want this game. Bandai Namco trademarks Tales of Lumaria in Japan. Konami trademarks Ikkyo Powerful Fantasia. I don't know what the second one is, but Tales of is a long-running series, and looks like, I think I may have talked about this last time actually, but so keep an eye out if you're a Tales fan, and maybe, I guess, Geekyo. I really don't know what that series is, but if you're a fan of either of them. Oh, it's called the Powerful Fantasia series, I guess. Maybe? I don't know. We'll see what those games are. Oh god, another shitty one. Starbreeze CEO resigns, citing personal reasons. So, okay, don't know how many of you know who Starbreeze are and what they do, but their big game was that heist game. I've forgotten the name of it. Payday? Yeah, Payday. And this franchise has been in a weird state ever since its conception. Starbreeze is a bizarre company. There's a lot of really shady shit that went on with them. And I don't know how they still exist. I assumed they were going to go under for a bit there. I'm fairly sure they were going bankrupt, or did go bankrupt, and they still exist. So I don't know what's going on. But they seem to be having issues at a CEO level now, where changing hands and things like that. Yeah, so in this article it does cover some of that stuff, with like $12 million concluded reconstruction effort following a looming threat of insolvency. They laid off a quarter of its staff. Oh, that's right, they were going to do the System Shock. They sold off System Shock 3. They purchased it and then sold it. Holy hell, but yeah, this company's gone through some shit shows, and still ongoing, as it seems. I don't know who's buying Payday though. I don't know where their money comes from right now, because they haven't done any game development stuff massively in the past like 5 years or so. So I really don't know what's going on there, but you know, we'll see if this company sticks around for a few years longer. Yeah! It's Devil May Cry Special Edition. Digital pre-orders now available, which means that Virgil will be coming out on December 15th, which isn't that far away. So I've got like I don't know, I got a month, play a bit more DMC to get myself back into it, go do some Bloody Palace, which I still haven't touched Bloody Palace in 5. I don't know how I haven't gone back to it, but yeah, holy shit. Maybe I'll play some Devil May Cry on stream. I kind of want to do that. Hopefully my computer can handle that. Not sure if it can, but yeah. So these changes, by the way, so if you don't know, so there will be a new version of this game coming out. The console and the PC will have two different versions, unfortunately. I don't really know why this is happening. A lot of the next gen stuff will be locked to the consoles, strangely enough, and the PC will be getting some of the upgrades. So unfortunately for me, I won't be getting everything, but that's okay. What I care about is mostly coming here, so getting Virgil, getting new game modes. I don't know if actually turbo mode and stuff are coming over, but yeah. If you've played DMC special editions before, you probably know what a lot of these will be, minus the graphical stuff. But thanks, Rosary. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for this, and I hope you guys are too. Fuck me, Devil May Cry is so good, and 5 was fantastic. There better be a Devil May Cry 6 coming, or more DLC with extra characters. Alright, next up. All right, we're here, guys. We're at the big one. So, a lot of you probably already seen this, either on Twitter, through memes, or just the post itself, or other people just talking about it in general. Cyberpunk is set to be the biggest release of this year. The Witcher Group, CD Projekt Red, making their Cyberpunk-related game. Everyone really wants to play this game. Holy shit, the buzz on it is crazy. It's been so promoted. Got fucking Keanu Reeves in it now. But it's been delayed. Especially, and it happened, what's really funny about this is it literally, the day before this announcement came out for the delay, there was a Twitter post that confirmed no more delays. This game will be coming out when it's said to be coming out. There is to be no more delays. And then the following day, we are delaying till December 10th. And yeah. So this is pretty rough. What up, you squishable cat? Not much. The news, man. Watching CD Projekt Red delay stuff more. Better to delay and then rush it. Okay, so I normally would agree with you, Pixie. No more rush games, please. So I normally would agree here. However, this game should have been extra delayed if that was the case, because this game has a very large problem because of crunch is a big thing in the games industry. The closer you are to AAA games, the more likely you will be very, very impacted by crunch. And it can be very negative on staff working there. However, we had a situation where they said they weren't going to do it, but they were obviously doing it. They tried to make this deadline that they set up, and they didn't make it. And then they told everyone they're going to be going on holidays and extra pay and stuff like that. And now this extra delay is happening. So when they thought they were going to be stopped working, they are going to do even more work. So the staff are really, they probably will not see a reimbursement for their efforts to the degree that they probably have earned. But yeah, not great. This is not a great look for CD Projekt Red. One of the additional things is that their stock is falling. It fell 25% over the past week. So this is pretty... It's a good thing and a bad thing in a sense. They should be delaying, but really, if they had done the right thing by their staff and sort of, well, not even... I wouldn't say consumers. Consumers don't matter right here, right now. This should be on them looking after their staff, and they should have delayed it a lot longer, or done more sizable cuts to the game. But they quoted that one of the reasons why it's taking so long is not just COVID stuff. In this latest one, they were saying that is next gen has been causing them some serious problems, and yeah, I hope they figure it out. It would be really horrible to have a serious situation where, I mean, I literally just read the statement on this. On improvements in Contieri, this is the time where Amni improvements are being made, which will be then distributed by a day zero patch. This time period, where this is the time period we undercalculated. So this is not, that's a big problem. When your staff is being crunched, they've gone gold. By the way, this game is technically already been gone gold. So whatever they're working on right now, they're having to do as extreme crunch. So they're already on crunch. They're probably doing even more now to meet this day zero patch, which, holy fuck, good luck to the staff and their families. I saw the fans' reactions. They don't deserve it. Also, the game was announced in 2012. There should be no need for crunch. So, CJ, I think there's a big issue when people talk about stuff like that, whereas it's more complicated of a machine when you've got game development, especially in AAAs, because you start to enter the realm of it's a moving machine. It's one of those things. It's not just the development part. You've got the advertising, you've got investments, you've got all like the different meetings to do with various developer groups that are working on it. So it's like, it's not just internal staff. It'd be whoever's they're working with, like in engine stuff. It's the people that are working with, say, like the actual platform. So if they're talking to Sony or Xbox and all that sort of stuff. So all this stuff, if they gets dragged out, it really accentuates how much money that the company is needing to be spent. And they need to meet certain deadlines, or it just starts tripping over and then you end up in development hell. So they've got to be very careful, especially on such large projects. And it's good to see that a lot of them do come out in such a fleshed out format to meet AAA pricing. However, they will still have the cases where staff are just getting abused, basically. They're just going overboard. The co-CEO had to apologize to his employees after his comments. Yeah, of course he did. During that time, they pumped out Witcher 3, so can't imagine much was happening back then. No, yeah, back then. It would probably be in the initial planning stages. I don't know how many teams they have. I would imagine they have one large team, maybe some R&D teams, but yeah. Anyway, that's that. It happened. I'm hoping that game is really good when it comes out. It looks good. I have seen reviewers talk about what they've had on with hands-on. They don't believe it will be a 10 out of 10 game. A lot of them saying maybe an 8 out of 10. It's not exactly what they think that people will want, but we'll see as we get closer and actual embargo releases on that game, how the reviews stand. But let's see if their money and time probably will be worthwhile in the sense of getting the review scores and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, as long as the staff are being looked after, that's all I give a shit about. But cool. That's a thing. Probably the big one of this week. Minus the unboxings that we'll talk about soon. No Man's Sky is coming to PS5 and Xbox Series X at launch. Normally I wouldn't talk about No Man's Sky. I like talking about No Man's Sky because they made such a change with this series. Massive kudos to this team. Hello Games turned around such a negative PR on them when the game came out in such a really undercooked state that didn't meet milestones to something that people genuinely love. This game is now, I kind of almost feel like it's a cult classic, but it's going to withstand a test of time that no one ever thought it would. And they're bringing it to next gen, so they're not done. They still must enjoy developing that game because getting more stuff. And so yeah, if you're a fan of that space genre, crafting genre, go check out this game. It is really living up to it. I probably will never play it, but from afar it looks like a wonderful trip. You really like it? It's so fun. I played it on stream, but honestly, I just want to play it on my own, take it all in. Yeah, exactly. I think it's one of those types of games, Pixie. I really do. It's going to be a fine game, but I think people will be disappointed in Cyberpunk. I kind of feel the same, CJ. I feel like there might be some stuff around that where people just might not quite fully click with what they think it is. Man, I called No Man's Sky release being a disaster, and I'm glad they fixed it. Yeah, massive kudos to that team. They saved so much face. I feel like a lot of people probably don't have a bad look still in Hello Games, and they probably aren't aware how well No Man's Sky has gotten to. But it's certainly not that other Kickstarter space game that is never coming out, which has a stupid amount of money. But this looks fantastic, and it looks like some sizable changes. So, but I never got hyped for it. No Man's Sky clearly showed it had no gameplay during the trailer during the hype train, but people for some reason thought it would be the thing it is now. Well, the thing is, CJ, what it was they had a lot of PR spin. They had their very, very ambitious speaking head of development, and I think he's the owner of the company, and he went Peter Molyneux. He went full on explaining stuff about that series and what it was going to be, and or that IP, and it didn't meet those milestones. And yeah, it's they were a first time company doing this, something like this. The game they did was that Dangerous Dan, whatever that bike one is. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, and that's a completely different IP. So I only heard a bit of it when it was bad at launch. I'm glad to hear it's going It's fantastic right now. It's one of the better games that are out there. Head of development was well out of the water. It did meet milestones, just not on release. That's exactly it, CJ. It's one of those things that maybe they should have claimed not it was out of early access when they did. Maybe they should have kept it in early access for that little bit longer. As much as I don't like the concept of early access, I think that's a dangerous thing. But yeah, some indie companies may need it, especially if they're like single A. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity demo out. So I just wanted to put this out here. We will be watching the Nintendo little direct, just because I liked a lot of the stuff that was shown in it. Yeah, go play this. I'm probably going to go play it on stream next week. That might be our quick look for next week. But I really love Warriors games. I fucking hate the story that is Breath of the Wild. I really don't like that game's presentation for story. I just don't like a lot of the story elements in Breath of the Wild, and yeah, I've got a lot of issues with that game. However, I probably will love the shit out of this game. I still have issues with the story and the world that this game has, but this looks like a fun Warriors game. So, Sony should have given them an actual PR rep. I completely agree, CJ. I don't know why they didn't. It was really strange. I feel like because What's-His-Face was he was very charismatic, that's why they decided to put him front and center, and he's the face of the company. And at some part, he talked about how he didn't want to do that stuff. Like, that's completely not him, but he kept getting put out into the limelight. So, yeah, that definitely, I would put some of that on Sony and some of the other people. Breath of the fucking awful writing, more like, yeah. Yeah, I got very frustrated with Breath of the Wild, just like in terms of the lore of that universe. I don't know. Whoa, I need the demo. I'm so excited. I love the first Hyrule Warriors. The first one was fucking amazing. It's probably the best Warriors game, next to One Piece Pirate Warriors 3. Interested what they'll do with the game. The Internet Historian did a good video on it. Yes, he did too. Yes, if you guys want to know the full story about No Man's Sky, go check out the Internet Historian's video on it. He's fairly sure he's Australian, but I really like his takes on things sometimes. Breath of the broke my fucking sword again. I know. That was the biggest thing, Prince, when we heard that this game was coming out. Is like, if they add weapon durability to a Warriors game, this game is dead. No one will want to play this. But they definitely didn't, and that's good. I think there's additional weapons you can pick up that are temporary, but you will always have a base weapon. You didn't mind the weapon durability? CJ, what are you talking about? It drove me insane. Like, it made every item feel like subsequently useless, because it was this thing of, oh, I've got it for a little bit, I'll just hold on to it forever. Glad that I mean, actually, I take that back. I was about to say even the Master Sword, they like at least was like good, but it's not. Like, thing ran out of energy ridiculously fast. Yeah, that was a bad system. All right, more Nintendo news. So again, we'll probably watch a little bit this when we watch the bit of the Nintendo Direct. I might skip through it. No More Heroes 1 and 2. I will probably play these on stream. These are going to be on the Switch. They are out on the Switch, and they are stupid cheap. If you've never played No More Heroes 1 or 2, please go play them before you play the new No More Heroes. And, oh my god, I'm so excited because I don't own No More Heroes 1 or 2 anymore. So I'm gonna rebuy these, and they're very cheap. The only thing that made the combat interesting, yeah, I mean the combat had some interesting stuff. So yeah, I actually didn't mind certain elements of it. It was just frustrating, and there weren't many fights that I felt were rewarding in it. There's an alpaca soccer game on the Switch. What? Mango, what are you talking about? I need to see this. But yeah. If you haven't played either of these games, please go play No More Heroes. They are very quirky adult action games. You still own your Wii copies? I see. I was thinking I had them when I was living with a friend, and on his Wii, so I didn't end up getting them, and I'll need to get them. Alpaca Ball All Stars, also on Steam. Yeah, let's look this up. I don't know what we're talking about. What is this game? I don't want videos or images. Oh my god. Again, there are so many games in the world, and sometimes it's just... I never would have heard about it if you hadn't pointed this out, I don't think. This just seems so out of my wheelhouse. It looks very indie. Very cute, though. Coming out on November 5th, 2020. If you're into alpacas and soccer, and you want to see an alpaca with sunnies doing a kick, go check out that on November 5th, I guess. This one caught your attention. Sometimes stuff comes out of nowhere. Alpaca Z Rocket League? Yeah. I can already get it. I can get it already on Switch. Really? That's in November 5th. Maybe they changed the release date like a week forward for some reason. Strange. I don't know. Haven launches December 3rd for PS5, Xbox. So again, I just want to talk about this because I follow the artist and I love their artwork, and the game looks quite fun. So this is just a very simple game. We've seen it on a few promo things. I've talked about it a few times, but we have a release date for it now, December 3rd. It is for you anyway. Interesting. Maybe it's the physical copy, Mangle. Maybe the digital came out first. But yeah. So yeah, the showcase. So what we've talked about with like some of those games and stuff, they were inside the mini direct that was randomly dropped. We actually knew like a day or two that this was probably coming because of the fact that certain news were coming out, especially like the Korean Nintendo website got updated, and I'm wondering whether or not some of the direct was edited not fantastically, and I was wondering whether or not that might be somewhat relative because it may have been sped up the process for it. But yeah. Maybe we'll watch that later, but I do like me a direct. I might move that one over there. PlayStation 5 Plus collection will have 20 games at launch. So that's one of the concerns people have with the new next generation is the pool of games seems a bit small. It might be related to COVID, who knows? But they've pushed forward the games you get on the free passes, or say PlayStation Plus, or the Xbox, is it Xbox Live? I don't know what it's called anymore. But yeah, so this is a good thing to see, and some of these games are very, very important ones. One included is Monster Hunter World. Oh, you guys don't have an excuse now. If you guys have PlayStation Plus and a PS5, you will have to play World with us. Bloodborne. Final Fantasy, fuck that. Last Guardian. Yeah, these are all really big ones. Persona. Like, there's not a game here that I wouldn't suggest people checking out in some capacity, so... yeah. Oh yeah, and PS5 Plus owners will get on release Bug Snacks and Destruction All Stars. Which, I don't know who wants those games, but you can get them. So... Because yes, again, to reiterate, we are a week away from the release of the next generation, so... Prince, did you say you're getting a PS5? I don't actually know. Because I hope I can get my hands on one, but it's very unlikely I will, so... I'd love to play it on stream on release, because I want to play Demon's Souls so bad, which was what we'll talk about soon enough. All Xbox 360 and Xbox One games will be playable on the Xbox One Series X and S. That's a fuckload of games. This is ridiculous. This is an insane thing to say. All Xbox 360, and Xbox One games will be playable on the next-gen console. This is insane. This is stupid insane. I can't believe this is a thing that's happening. This is extremely, extremely good for them to do. That's crazy backwards compatibility. However, I would imagine that this thing can't read all the different disk drives, so I'm assuming most of these will be a digital thing, so if you own it digitally in some form or capacity. But, yeah. I need a PS5. I think it's fine to hold off strawberries. I don't think there's going to be too much. But most likely I won't get on the launch. It's so hard to find. That's why I'm going to get both. Yeah. I think this is... I think the I'm not going to get an Xbox. I never get an Xbox. I only have one for the Kinect. For personal reasons. And it's like, it's... This... Xbox seems worth getting, but I still don't think games-wise, for me, it'd be worth getting it. But I've never been the target demographic for the Xbox. So... I will probably be getting the PS5, but I don't know when I'd get an Xbox, if ever. Hey Mo, how you going? Yeah, I heard it's hard to get it. It'll take a while for me. Yeah. Yeah, the Kinect. The Kinect is the only reason that the Xbox I had any interest in them. Are you a Kinect of animals? No. Yeah, let's just say it's very handy. It was handy for dev stuff. Been the hottest news today. Well, we did the Cyberpunk news, Mo, if you saw that. Yeah, that was probably the so poor. No, definitely not, Prince. Oh my god. I wonder how many people that have VR headsets they've got porn stashed away for it. Petting lions and tigers and bears. Microsoft giving away an Xbox Series X fridge. So, going on from why Xbox is fantastic and they do such great things is a fridge they made. They made a fridge. This is how I learnt about it. So, Wario64 retweeted this. Snoop Dogg has an Xbox Series X fridge. How else will I get to make sweet, sweet love to Hatsune Miku?
And you do know that.
Snoop Dogg, you gotta speak up, you're very quiet. Because I thought this was just something that someone gifted him and made it for him. I didn't know what it was. And then it was just, like... Turns out, this is a real thing. Sometimes you get these weird stunt publicity things, and they go to very, very rich people. Seemingly that's what's happened here. So... Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg, what are you doing? I didn't realize that there was so many of these. Seems weird to keep it. Weird dude. But yeah, so I don't know how many of these actually got made, but it's a promotion thing they're doing. The Xbox looks very, very small. Very, very small comparative. It's very impressive in terms of what hardware they have in it. But yeah, so there is currently right now, if you want to see, there is multiple unboxing videos that people have been doing. I don't know if I've seen any actual people turning on and using the systems. I don't know if the embargo was lifted on that. I think it probably has. But yeah. You want to go watch stuff like that, you totally can go for it. Giant Bomb is who I watch for a lot of stuff, and they did theirs, and they're very funny guys. But yeah. Next up, SNK apologized for a cheeky SNK All-Star ad. I don't know if they've got the ad here. They do. I saw this got retweeted by so many FGC people. This is just very fucking weird. So this is a...
Hey, come on.
This is very weird. I thought it was a fan animation that was just... But then it was like, nope, this is like some weird ad they were running. That's it. And it was for SNK All-Stars. So I don't know if the ad was made in like China or something. Like... SNK is owned by China now, and yeah. But they had to come forward and apologize because FGC was just on fire going, what the fuck was that? But yeah, apparently Terry likes to slap girl ass as he drives by. No respect. He got no respect. But yep. You may see that ad around. I don't know if it's been pulled, but yep. CD Projekt attributes new Cyberpunk delay with working with current gen consoles. I should have paired this up with the other Cyberpunk thing. But yes, we talked about this before. Cyberpunk is claiming as the reason why they are so delayed is due to next gen console stuff. Still not okay. Still not okay. Probably won't talk about it much more here, but it's like, yeah, definitely Cyberpunk getting delayed. Probably needed to happen. Probably needed to happen longer, but they really wanted to make this year's deadline rather than next year for whatever reason. And really hope that this, like, reports of crunch at the studio is not as bad, and it never was. But I don't know. It's hard to say from the outside in. But yeah, had to apologize for rumors Marks about this crunch on the Tuesday call. So. Sexual assault much? Yeah. There's so much added content to WoW, by the way. Wait, are you talking about for the pre-patch? I haven't looked at the pre-patch at all. I will talk about WoW today, actually, CJ. I did grab an article. No, I don't see an article on it. I will look at it. It was on when I got up this morning. I saw that, so I'll talk about that shortly. Or harassment? You know what I'm talking about? I do. Path of Exile delays next expansion due to Cyberpunk. I don't know if these two necessarily line up, but Grinding Gear, they're very open. If you've ever played Path of Exile and listened to Grinding Gear, they're a very open company. They're very cool. I like them a lot. And they decided to delay their expansion, which looks fucking amazing, till next year, I believe. And I don't know if it's the same demographic, so it's a little weird that they've done that and claiming it to that, but they can do what they want. Like, they're not going to be too heavily impacted. They do seasonal stuff. Their game will always have its player base because it is the best ARPG out there, for sure. That game is fucking amazing. If you haven't played Path of Exile, go check it out. And yeah, I'm just going to wait for that. We're here. All right. So I found this news last night, before I was going to bed. No, yeah, it was before I was going to bed and before I watched the Nintendo Direct. So we watched the Final Fantasy 16 teaser. Remember what we said about it? Remember how I said it looked a little rushed and stuff like that? But the biggest thing was Yoshi P and the Final Fantasy 14 team were working on it. And you guys know how I feel about 14. And yeah, they put up a teaser website. I think we might click through it in a moment, but holy shit. This is what we needed to see for 16. This alleviates a lot of worries I had. As long as this game does not go through some form of weird development hell, which I have faith in Yoshi P, this game looks already better than 15 to me. This looks like a full-fledged idea than 15's weird loose whatever the fuck it was conversion of Versus. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. Look how good this art is. So we've got Phoenix and Ifrit. We've got the main character who looks fucking sick. He looks like a character I would make in an RPG. We're going back more traditional Monster Hunter, Final Fantasy. I won't watch the trailer again, we've seen it before, but there's like world details, there's character details, the art is just amazing. There's a lot of comments here. If you want to go read this stuff, they actually talk a bit more about the game. There's little breakdowns of each of the characters. Weeb, CJ, did you expect anything else? I love Final Fantasy. I fucking hated what happened to 13 and 15. They kill me. 7 Remake was not exactly what I wanted, but this looks a lot closer, so I'm excited. Look at this artwork. Like, look how interesting this is of a landmark. Like, they explain like each of the different areas and the dominions and how the areas are controlled by basically the god of their area. Hey, Brother Buns. I'm horny for Final Fantasy 2, man. But yeah, we've got a map. They've already got a map up for us so we can see where landmarks are, places we will very likely travel. It looks very traditional Final Fantasy. They have their different regions. They explain to you. It looks like each of the regions have a different. I don't know what to call them. To me, that I always call them GFs because 8 is my thing. They are different summons, essentially. We have Phoenix. I think that's Shiva. That looks like Odin, or Ixion. I'm fairly sure it's Odin though. Titan. Don't know what this one is. And that Crystal Town. Is the Crystal Town here? There is a picture of an amazing Crystal Town that I'll have to show off. But shit, this looks so good. I'm so excited for this game. We've got a little breakdown of the characters. The character art looks so traditional Final Fantasy. I'm just so excited. I just can't wait for this game now. This website has done a very good job of getting me extremely excited for this game again. I don't know if there's a picture. I don't know if there's another picture that I haven't seen amongst this. How did I get to it last time? Don't know where it is. Give me 2 seconds. I want to try and find the... Alright. Okay, I can't find it, but there's another image that's related to this Crystal Town. So there seems this crystals are returning to Final Fantasy, which is very appropriate. I feel like that's one of the trademarks of Final Fantasy, and 15 didn't really have any stuff to do with it too much. But this town looks like a better version of the town from 15. It looks fucking amazing. Just so excited. Each of the landmarks in the world seem to be surrounding a crystalline structure or a rock structure. So we have this sort of thing. There's like a explosion sort of looking crystal one. There's that arch one we saw. There's that crystal stone, which is probably that town we saw on the title webpage. We have like a big old mountain. There seems to be a wedge shoved into a mountain. So we've already got landmarks that we probably will be visiting. I would imagine this map will change and evolve over time, but they already seem to have a clear idea of what they kind of want the world to look like. So no idea how it'll progress in terms of how you get between those regions and stuff like that. But I have faith. I have faith in this team. More so than I did previously. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff. You walk and or swim. I don't know, CJ. I think we're going to get transitioned. Considering how 15 was an open world game, I think it'll be more open world with transport between each of them. But I don't think we'll see the same size as what 15's world was. That was just too much work for a big old empty space. But Square Enix is money. Who knows what they'll want to do with it. Guess we'll see. Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythmic Adventure Pack will debut in December. So I want to get this. This is it. So if you ever played Taiko no Tatsujin, it's basically a rhythm drum game that's fantastic and lasts for a long time. We're now getting on consoles and stuff, and it's here in the West. And now there's a little RPG component, which looks pretty fun. Not gonna lie. And yeah, we'll get in December. I think the same time as what we will in Japan. Rainbow Six and Far Cry 6, both delayed till next year, due to quarantine apparently. So yeah, I'm not too excited for either of these games, but I know lots of people would be because there's massive Ubisoft fans. I imagine CJ's pretty excited. He plays Rainbow Six on stream. Yeah, I am a little surprised, but at the same time, this is probably for the best. These are both very big games, so if they're not pushing their staff, especially after Ubisoft had a really fucking bad year with like CEOs and business structure and a whole heap of stuff like that, that perhaps this is for the best for their company, even though it might take a pretty big hit. They need to remake Legend of Dragoon, damn it. One day, Brother Buns. I feel like people would need to put an outcry to get that, but who knows? Anything and everything's getting remade these days. But Quarantine is the 3-man co-op zombie game. Oh, okay. What are my 2 other teammates meant to do? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know too much about like I've never really followed Far Cry, and it sounds like it got weird, and this new thing I don't really know much about at all. But yeah, worth talking about. Just as this is Gears Pop's shutting down next year. Good news. Thanks, guys. So Gears Pop was a weird thing to come about that year, and it was on fucking the stage at E3. I can't believe that. That was so bizarre. That was so tonally off. But yeah, don't think that was going to go well, and it looks like it hasn't gone very well. So you know. Demon's Souls second gameplay trailer and screenshots. Yeah! This game looks fucking bizarre looking like this. So y'all know how much I love Souls, so we got more stuff to do with Demon's Souls. Bluepoint has shown off quite a lot of this game now. And it's super strange because the art style is so different. Like, I can't stress how much different this looks like. It looks like you're looking at Demon's Souls, but it looks like you're not. Because I don't know why. I thought Bluepoint was a Japanese company, but they're actually a Western one. And now I can't unsee Western art. It really doesn't feel like I'm looking at a Japanese Souls game. It's like, you'll see with some of the art design choices with some of like the monsters and stuff, like they're very heavily changed. Like this is the Iron Spider, but it's the first boss of the like dwarf area. Also 60 frames per second. Do you see it? But look how crazy different this looks. Look how bright the room is. If you've played the original Demon's Souls, it's so strange. The art style change. But yeah, they have changed some things back, it seems. Like Flame Lurker has changed since when we first saw him. But this looks super crisp. It looks very nice. Apparently there's 2 modes. There's a 60 frame per rate, big 60 FPS performance mode, and a 30 frame beautiful one. This looks like it is actually in the 60 FPS one, because this looks crisp as fuck. Don't know why he shot magic there, but you know. I really want to play this game. This is the main reason I want to get the PS5 on release, is so I can play this game. But yeah, pretty much looks... Wow, I didn't actually notice the crystal lizards look different. But yeah, these guys look crazy. They look like, if you look at them, they look like Lord of the Rings, like goblin men. But these are meant to be the dwarves. So it's a little strange. Also the game... So one of the big things about the art style change with this game is that, to me, I feel like it's very... The original game is very oppressive. It's very dark. It's very drained of color. But this is very bright and colorful. And I mean, relative to the previous one. And it's funny because I kind of like the oppressive nature that is Demons. Like, Demons felt bleak. I don't know how much I feel like this is very bleak now. So I'll see once I get my hands on it, but it's very bright. Like, all the hit sparks, like, there's a lot of artistic changes here. Hey, Chris. It looks like a cutscene, but it's not. Yeah, this is, next gen will look like this, Strawberries. Next gen will be very much like, everyone will be like, oh shit, it's like watching a cutscene. Well engineered games for this generation will look very, very nice. So this is the boss I was talking about, that they changed the art style back to what it originally looked like. So this is the Flame Lurker. He is probably one of the hardest fights in this game. Actually, I'd probably put him as my hardest fight. If you don't come in prepped,
You can either like sweep him up if you're prepped, but if you're not, he will mess you up. Because he's raw fire damage, which you can't really stop very easily. And he's very quick, especially if you play slow weapons like me. This game looks great. I love me some Souls, so... And it all started with this game. I didn't know FromSoft until I played Demon Souls. I love how many hits he takes. Like, if this was a normal player, they'd be dead. But he takes so many fucking hits. I think he dies here. Yeah, there we go. Never played this game, but it looks fun. Souls-likes are extremely fun. There's the Dragon God. I think that's the Piercer, but he looks weird. The gargoyles look different. The skeletons have flesh on them now, which is fucking bizarre. One of the dragons. I think... Oh, that's up to the maiden. I was trying to figure out what that was to the doll. Stormcaller, Lost Hero, Maiden again. Cthulhu. Cthulhu, come eat you. Yeah, that is the Piercer. Okay, it is the Piercer. Are you playing a demo version or watching the trailer? This is the trailer. This is the first. This is the second gameplay trailer. Fuck, I love demons. Demons Souls. But yeah, there's a whole heap of other screenshots here. I won't click through them, but it looks very, very good. So again, if you're getting a PS5, this probably will be a release game for most people. EA fined 10 million over loot boxes as Dutch court sides with gambling authority. Good. Fuck 'em. You know how I feel about loot boxes and gambling with games, and then they need to be reined in. There's a lot of terrible stuff that's happening with that, and EA particularly is quite bad with the sports games. So yeah, the more we see these companies getting fined or things like this, and more electronic law getting enforced to limit them, the better, because we are on a slippery slope. Especially if you... Okay, so if we look towards what Genshin Impact is right now, I think is a very good example of why it can get over to the top. We have a game that is now a free-to-play game that has made 24 million... I think it's 24 million in the first month of its release, just on mobile alone. So they need to rein them in, because it's just... The prices are getting out of control. It risks a crash on the mobile front and the gaming consoles, so there needs to be a balance here. Otherwise, it's just going to be a awful, awful time. But hey, you know, if they can't get the laws enforced in, say, America, it might not be winning for a long time. It might be just very heavy restrictions in places like Australia and Europe. Charge them more. Death to EA. EA can fight it. I love how much people hate EA. I've talked to you guys about how I did almost get a job at EA, but it's funny because it's that thing of like, it's a company that I've always had vitriol for ever since I was like a teenager, and knowing about how they would try to sell packs of games and things like that, and their buyouts and things like that. But it's not gotten any better. It's just excruciating anal. AAA companies of that size and how they approach the industry is just... They just need to be reined in. They need... You want to talk corporate? This is when companies get scary, and this is one of them. And if they can be prevented from making mass money off people who are just... EA, eat ass. It's in the eat ass. It's... What is it? What's their tagline? I hate the prices on DLC of Sims and other stuff. I mean, yeah, strawberries. It's so frustrating because I remember getting the launcher for... when Origin launcher came out, and there was a few games on there that I wanted to play, and it was just so limiting, and there was expensive stuff around it. I bought a key from a store, and then I couldn't get the key to associate to an English account. There was just so much stuff. I've just had constant issues with EA over years. But, you know. They need to exist. I will always say that companies like this need to exist, but they need to be kept under control by the government, because otherwise they'll just get out of control. But you know, we'll see how it goes. So the more and more of this happens, the more and more we might see like the law might get changed, but the law might also be in the pocket of big game, like Big Tobacco. We've got big game. Origin has a good download speeds, the rest of it sucks. Yeah, I haven't touched Origin in a while. I can't actually remember. There was something I actually opened it for, but I can't remember. Yeah, everyone who works there is an asshole. No, don't say that. I don't believe that, Chris. Because I know quite a few people that work at EA. It's just a job to them, but there's a lot of shit that happens at higher levels and what they get asked to pump out and stuff. Because yeah, Australia has a division that does the mobile sims, and it sounds like the loop of content creation is very, very stringent. They're just constantly churning out stuff. So yeah. All right, let's move on. Oh, okay. Well, we're here. So we got through all the news. We're back at the Direct Showcase. Do we want to have a watch of this, guys? Do we have a quick watch of the Direct Showcase? There's a few things in it. Where we at? Where's the video? Here it is. You want to watch it? All right. Videos aren't available. What do you mean it's unavailable? Alright, let's check it out. I'm gonna skip into it because it's just going to tell us it's direct. But I feel like a lot of people might know what's coming in this, and I've seen a lot of stuff with it. Let me use my background. Let me know if this is too loud.
You are finished, hero of light.
So I didn't play the demo of this.
No longer.
This is Bravely Default 2. If you guys don't know, Bravely Default is a fantastic RPG series that takes on the encompassment of all the previous old Final Fantasies, and it feels like a traditional Final Fantasy. But this art style, I don't know what happened. It looks very strange. My friend tells me that the demo didn't look this bad, but it looks a little rough. Bravely Default 3. I know, it should be CJ, it's so strange. You gonna go to sleep, Alex? No problem, man. Thanks for hanging out, you have a good night. It looks good. I mean, especially the overworld, like the town and stuff looks really good, but I don't know what's up with the art style on the Switch. Like, it's very harsh lighting. It feels not appropriate for it, for the art style. They changed the art style, but it looks amazing. It looks interesting. I don't know. I feel like I don't think this gels well together. I think that the character art style plus that doesn't look great, especially like the initial like if you look at like how the enemy character designs looks very odd. Like it probably will be a fantastic game. Like Bravely is always a very good game, but it does look very strange now. Should be like World of Final Fantasy? Yeah, pretty much. The World of Final Fantasy look actually is based on kind of the art style they brought from Bravely. I love that. That dude, I'm fairly sure, is Australian, by the way. Did you hear that? He called him a drongo.
Doug, bearer of the Vanguard Asterisk. Vanguards like
I'm fairly sure that dude's meant to be Australian.
Stout defenses in order to protect allies. They can also deliver devastating blows using their shields.
Yeah, it's explaining. So we got new classes, which is pretty cool. Some of these are not too strange for Final Fantasy classes, but where is it? There's two classes that I'm interested in seeing how they work, because the Bravely system is about class combinations, and
bearer of the Beast
taking
Master
different
asteroid.
moves from different ones. So I don't know how they're going to combine and stuff.
Beastmasters have the power to
So
summon
there's
and
like a
control
Beastmaster.
monstrous creatures.
So it's like almost like a blue
They
mage,
can
but
also
like
use their skills to
uh,
capture monsters to fight alongside
so
them
you can play
during
Pokemon in
battle.
Bravely now.
Surely, bearer
If he's a
of the
Palico, you're
Daimono
both brothers. No, he's a big old knight, man. We got a gambler
tend to
class.
have
This is
luck
pretty
on
cool.
their side, but are also prone to pushing it, risking everything for a moment's glory. Be careful, however. The wheel won't always spin in their favor. These are just some of the characters you'll meet
I
in
love
the
it. She's
early
on like
stages of the game.
100. She's on
We'll be
full health,
introducing
and then she
more
just instantly
Asterisk
kills
holders in
herself.
the future, so please stay tuned.
You've got healers in
We
your
asked
team, so
fans
like
to
that shouldn't be
provide
too bad.
feedback on the
But
demo
it's
released
just still
in
funny.
March 2020, and we received over 20,000
Yay!
responses to our survey.
She got yeeted.
Fans mentioned the difficulty level and the controls in particular, so we're now focused on making those adjustments. A video summarizing the changes that have been made based on the feedback
I'm
will
so
be posted
glad
soon on the
Square is
official
moving back
Nintendo
towards
YouTube
like
channel.
traditional Final Fantasy, and it feels like
And
they're giving back
finally,
the fans what
Bravely
they've wanted
Default
for the
2
past
will
like
launch
I don't
on
know 10
February
years. Like with
26th, 2021.
also the date's been changed
Pre-orders
as well.
begin
So
today on
I think it's been
Nintendo
delayed
eShop.
slightly.
We hope you're
I
looking
didn't realize
forward
that. I
to
thought it
seeing
was
lots
actually
more
the same
of
date,
Bravely
but
Default 2.
I guess not.
And so, our 4
I'm doing
heroes
fine. I have
begin their
4
adventure.
HP. It implodes.
All right, let's get into the headlines. Cultivate your farm and your life.
So we'll skip through this. Okay, so
Long ago, life in the city behind.
if you have
started
never
fresh
played,
in
I mean,
all
if you go
its
like Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley,
what awaits you there
and you haven't
is a
played,
vast,
I guess this
overgrown
is
and untamed
this
forest.
is Harvest Moon, but it's been rebranded as
Cultivate your
Story
farm
of
from the ground
Seasons.
up in the latest
It looks alright.
Story of Seasons
Looks
adventure.
pretty much like
Chop down the mini trees that
it
link
looks
your
like
land to
Harvest
clear
Moon
space for your field.
with a bit of a different art style, and it's pretty cute. So
Along
it looks
the
like they
way,
brought over
you'll
some stuff that
discover
I
all
kind of
sorts
actually
flora
looks
and fauna
more
in
Stardew to me than it does Harvest,
You might
but
come across rundown facilities.
yeah.
Get fruit and vegetable seeds to
And if
grow
you
on your
like these
farm.
types of games, you
Tame
probably
wild
will enjoy this.
livestock that can be nurtured,
Honestly,
raised,
as a Harvest
and
Moon
farmed.
fan, they've gone south since they did the rebrand. Yeah. That's why I kind of hope that this one will be good, Pixie, because I feel like they deserve it, but they made some stupid choices,
Fish,
including the fact that they let themselves get scammed out of losing their IP. But
will you so field as
They're
far as
trying.
the eye can see?
that frame rate
Construct
ain't
a
good
massive
there.
ranch with lots of barns and coops. Your farm's layout
I don't know if I
is
like
completely
this
up to
art
you.
style. That's the only big thing with this, where it's like it kind of
If you're
looks
looking
like a
to socialize,
mobile kids game.
Why not get to know the locals?
I feel like there's a
Nurture
lot of
your relationships,
Japanese
and
games
wedding
right now that are
might be
stuck
in
in
your
this
future.
sort of this art style that they can't free themselves of. And I don't quite know why.
Your farm life awaits in Story of Seasons.
You're saying it,
Pioneers
sis.
of Olive, cropping up on Nintendo Switch, March 23rd. Survive and thrive in a post.
You tried the few of the Story of Seasons and I couldn't get into it. Oh, really? No more character
We
icons?
inherited a wasteland.
I don't know what this was. This came out of nowhere for me. I don't really know what this
Soil
game is, but
and barren rivers.
this looks like it. Okay, so
Uniting
a big thing that I was
together
talking
is our
about during the
only
direct
option.
is I feel like there's a lot of third parties that are making games for the Switch
We
that they
started to pick
may
up
not
pieces.
should maybe not making them for
We
the
built a
Switch,
new home,
because I feel like that
a
they are
safe
rough
haven in a
ports,
hostile
or
world. A place where we could start over
the Switch
on a
isn't
clean slate,
handling what it can do. So I feel like it's this one, but there's
where
a
we
segment
would set the
here,
rules
here.
and choose
You can see
our
the
own
frame rate drop, and it's clipped. There's a lot of lighting issues that's happening, and this game isn't necessarily for me in art style or play style, but it looks like it might have some issues on the Switch. But yeah, a piece of me died just seeing that now. So many freaking phone games on Switch. Yeah, it's the thing. It's pseudo a mobile game. Another one that I was just saying the same thing. So again, this is what I came at when I watched the direct initially. That's what my thought was. This game looks rough as fuck on the Switch. It looks like a potato PC game from like,
swim,
I don't know, 10 years ago.
ride horses,
You'll be back in an hour. No problem, man.
Sky.
So, I've recently been playing Hades.
Clash with the Titans
I
using
love
new
Hades.
weapons.
I think it's wonderful.
A
The
sword
lore is
for
really
quick
good. The story is really good.
An axe for
People have been
devastating
saying that they
blows.
saw this, and it's apparently
bow for
reviews and stuff.
long-range
It's like
shots.
very.
Change weapons on the
It's a
fly
bit of a
and chain powerful
piss take
attacks
on
in
like
fast-paced combat.
Greek
Solving
lore,
challenging
and
puzzles.
it's
You'll
a
be
bit
gifted
sad
with new
comparatively.
weapons from the gods.
But it's basically it's kind of like a Breath of the Wild Greek game. It doesn't look terrible.
You can also
It just
upgrade
looks a
armor
little
and acquire new
uninspired in a
skills,
sense.
giving you
I
complete
feel like this probably would be
customization
very
freedom.
fun, but
With deadly battles
it-
against legendary
the art style
creatures,
is not
grand
doing
encounters
anything
with
for
mighty
me, and
gods on the
it's
horizon. A new legend is waiting.
something uninteresting about it.
Fulfill your
But
destiny when Immortals Phoenix Rising launches
no
on
idea how
Nintendo
well it'll do.
Switch
I just feel like this isn't a
December
game you
3rd.
shouldn't get on the Switch. That's
Pre-orders
100%
begin
my
today.
feeling on this. Breath of the Wild wall climbing. Yeah, I know.
Here's a sneak peek at some upcoming Nintendo
The name. The
Switch
name's
games.
pretty bad too. Yeah. You
Fierce
keep forgetting what it's
strategy
called.
Plus epic action equals Bakugan. It's up to you to build the best team and duke it out in high energy
So yeah, by the way, this is a
battles. You
partner
can also
direct, so you're gonna get
online
weird shit like this
head-to-head
sometimes. So
multiplayer. Become the ultimate champion in
Bakugan.
Champions of
I thought this
Vestroia.
series was
Coming
over and done, and I
exclusively
didn't
to
realize it
Nintendo
was still
Switch
going, but
November
apparently it's
3rd.
getting a game.
Power your negotiating skills. You'll need them in Griftlands Nintendo Switch Edition.
So I didn't actually know Griffland was out.
Or you
I
can
love
voice
Klee,
your fists
and
do
I
the
play
talking.
their other
Every
games, but I
decision
actually
matters
didn't
in
know
each
that this
playthrough.
one
Whether it's
had
the
came
jobs you
out,
take, the
and
friends
it's
you
on
make,
Switch.
or the cards you
So,
collect.
it's a deck
Explore
builder,
this gritty sci-fi world on Nintendo Switch
Turn-based
summer
deck builder,
2021.
So you like these?
El Presidente is back.
Oh, this is the one that was really broad. This is the one that I was like, this should not have been ported over. This is really bad. Look at how bad this looks.
And send agents to steal world monuments. Tropico 6
It's
lands
on the
Nintendo
lowest
Switch
details
November 6th.
possible for the
Pre-orders
Switch.
begin today.
And it's barely running. So please do not get that on the
AK-47
Switch.
returns, deadlier than ever.
This is crazy. So this is footage we'd never seen before, by the way, for Hitman. Look how good this game looks, by the way, on the Switch. You'll see why. CJ already knows. I'll talk about it in a sec, CJ. Maybe I should play Hitman on stream someday. It's a pretty funny game to watch people stream. This is the cloud version, so CJ already knew. So the Switch looks like it's starting to bring over some cloud-based stuff. There will be another cloud game that we're about to be shown.
Corruption is
And
everywhere.
it's
Can you regain
interesting
control?
because the Switch isn't powerful enough to do these modern
They'll
games.
try to stop me.
So it kind of is logical that the platform does make use of this. However, it is cloud gaming.
But I'm strong.
Please be aware of the limitations of your internet and where you are, whether or not you make the decision to buy any cloud game, because there is a high chance that it will not be good. I think it's still too early for them to do this.
I know
but-
what I must do.
I think that we've got to start somewhere, and I guess if this is how it's going to be approached, I think this is actually not a bad way. The Stadia and other forms of pure
I'm the director
cloud
of the
gaming,
Federal Bureau
I
of
don't think is a good idea. I think this is a
We're in
okay
this
idea to supplement and support the systems, but a pure system not is a good idea. But this is why they look so good compared to what we just saw before in some of those other games. But
Get your beam katana ready.
here we go.
Ah, my stomach hurts. I need a toilet. Perfect location.
Hey gamers! Today's title is No More
She's
Heroes
talking to us.
Fight.
She said gamers.
The hero in the middle of the action is Travis Touchdown.
So I can't get over how much this just looks like No More Heroes 2.
The number one
But,
slot in the assassin
I'm
rankings.
excited. So
New No More Heroes
I don't identify as a
was once
gamer.
fight between assassins is now a battle to the death on a galactic
So I'm so
scale.
glad that No More Heroes is returning, and we're actually getting a 3 rather than that weird other thing.
One goal.
But
Just
fucking
destroy
shit.
all those nasty
It
aliens.
looks like No More. Like
Fight.
And
If
what's...
you haven't played the prequels,
Here we go.
it's awesome. But it's even more awesome if you play the prequels first. Welcome to the Garden of Madness.
Bring it on. I'll give you a little kiss.
I lost my shit when this happened.
What? You got news?
So when she made that comment of like, if you haven't played the first ones, you really should be. And that's okay, because you will, sort of thing. And it was like, then they showed off this, and I lost my mind. Because I was like, I don't, like I said, I don't own No More Heroes 1 and 2 anymore. And I would love to replay them. And here we go. This is the way to do it. What an ad. I love it. They're super weird games. If you've never played them, they're fucking strange IPs. But they're very cheap. So if you go to the Switch store right now, you can get both No More Heroes 1 and 2 for like 20 bucks. They're super, super cheap. You want to wank up the power sword? Yeah, that's right. That's what you do. I don't know how it's gonna. That's the thing. That's a good point, CJ. I wonder actually how they're gonna deal with the Joy-Con situation, like whether or not you should play with the Joy-Cons when you play No More. But
use your trusty claw to grab.
You love the cheesy bit. Everything about that game is cheesy and rude and crude, and you got to have a bit of a sense of humor, I think, if you want to play that game. Wank the Joy-Con.
To building a castle. You'll perform all sorts.
This looks cute. Yeah, so they've made UFO have a new game, and it's like looks like a full-on game. My friend were talking about this, how much this looks like a WarioWare minigame that's been fleshed out. So I don't know if it's the WarioWare team that's working on this or what, but it looks cool. Very cute. It's actually quite expensive though. That was the only thing. This is apparently a $15 game. I think this is a little too expensive in my opinion. I feel like this game should probably be like a $5 to $7 game, but you know, you kind of pay premium for Switch games just in general. But hey Art, thank you for the host. I appreciate it. Alright, and this is the thing that most people were waiting for with this one. And it's actually a pretty fucking good trailer. Again, as much as I don't like Breath of the Wild, there's a few things in this Warriors game that looks pretty fucking cool. However, I will talk about some of this stuff because I haven't played the demo, but I've heard some things, so. Hey, Code Warlock. Thank you for the bits. Oh my god. I appreciate it, man. I do like the Yiga clan are used as a rival group that will fight you and stuff. That guy looks like Yuga. I love how much he looks like Yuga. So we're getting a Dark Warlock back in a Zelda game, which is fun. I like them.
Said enough. The time has come to show you what I'm made of.
This was crazy. I lost my mind. I thought it was going to be a level, like you fought on top of it, but then they did this. You literally get to fly the ancient beasts. It's crazy. The frame rate though, like, really takes a hit. Like, you can tell it's running on the Switch. It's struggling. So, it's very much a Warriors game with just how ridiculous. You can control them, yep. It's crazy. You gotta go get ready for work. Have a good day. Thank you, Pixie. Thank you again from the sub. Enjoy work. So I'm assuming these must be sequences. Like, you can just only do this in some levels, but like, yeah.
Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity. A story of the
It looks good. I don't know why the fucking resolution's so terrible in that footage. There's like 1 or 2 points in the footage just looks really, really bad. My friend thinks that it's probably footage from the TGS demos, which is strange. But it looks good. Looks like a Warriors game.
Play all of Chapter 1 and carry over save data to the full game once purchased.
Egg Boy.
Defending the kingdom with the demo available.
So yeah, the demo is out now. I won't be playing it this week. I was thinking of playing it today as the I mean, I still could. Maybe I should leave it up to you guys. My plan was to play.
Direct Mini Partner Showcase of the Year. Thank you
I was
for watching.
planning to play. Whatchamacallit? Final Station, which is a zombie game. It's sort of a survival game. I've never played it before. Or I could try and go and download that Hyrule Warriors. Maybe I'll leave it up to you guys. What do you guys want to see? Do you want to see me check out that demo? Because apparently it's quite good. Or we can go check out Final Station. Hang on. Quick look for Hyrule Warriors or Final Station. I was interested in Final Solution. No, that's something else, CJ. I could download it. I'm waiting for hardcore for Bravely Default 2. Yeah, I really can't wait for it. I want to go. The thing is, I want to play Bravely 2 though. Warlock, because I haven't played that yet. I played the original Bravely Default, and I didn't make time for Bravely Second. And now I want to play Bravely Default 2 because it looks like it might have some ties to Bravely Second still. Even though I think it was kind of a spin-off, so I don't know. But yeah, that was Nintendo Direct. I actually want to watch a little bit more. I know we're already like an hour 16 in, but give me a minute. I actually want to watch the Japanese version of the Japanese Direct actually had a few interesting things in it too, so I'm just going to open that quickly. I know a lot of people, and a lot of stuff won't necessarily come to the West, but there was a few interesting things in the Japanese one. You gotta head out, you look for a bit. You need to play second, yeah. I'm in the same boat. The first was amazing, and I sold my 3DS after the second. Oh, really? Shit. Yeah, I just didn't have time, so I kind of want to play the second one, but it's hard because they're RPGs. In the Japanese one, we had a few extra ones that wasn't, and we usually do in the have that. See you, Strawberries. Thanks for hanging out. We have Rune Factory, which looks weird. The 2D art I'm not a big fan of, but the 3D models are quite nice, and it's now a full 3D game. So that's pretty cool. Everything's becoming an action RPG, and I can't say I hate that. It's just whether or not they are enjoyable in a sense. But looks like Rune Factory. I haven't played these games, by the way. I've always seen them, but I've never played them. So this might be the Rune Factory I play finally, and then maybe I'll go back and play the others, which is interesting to say because they show off here, I think in a moment. You can also play Rune Factory 5, which is quoted as the best Rune Factory on the Switch also. Not Rune Factory 5, Rune Factory 4, is it? So here's the old Rune Factory. So, yeah. I kind of want to get them now, and maybe I'll play them on stream. It reminds me of Eternal Sonata. I never played that one either. Something about their Japanese games and their textures. Yeah, I mean, it's hard with some of the indie games. Like, they kind of fall into that category. This is a fucking cool game. It's a train game that's like it's like Transport Tycoon and Sim Transport and Open TTD, but it's in Japan and it's trains and it's amazing and I want to play it, but it's in Japanese and it'll probably never ever get localized, but looks pretty good. It's not a bad idea for a Switch game too. PC port of train game, please. I know. I got pretty excited when I saw this, and I was like, ah, shit, it's never coming here, is it?
列車の外観をカスタマイズすることで街の風情に合わせることもまた
There's a Kiwi-made VR supporting game about building train models. Oh my god. Oh, that'd be arduous, I feel like, CJ. I feel like it's already hard enough to manipulate and do the... It's hard enough to manage things in VR, let alone do it with like it's something as so intricate as making a model. I feel like without VR it's harder. Alright, we already saw this. No more heroes, there's something else. Oh, here's a whole heap of Japanese games, so here we go. Can we appreciate the fact that anti-cheat started working on Linux? Whoa, really, Krushi? Also, how are you doing today? I didn't know that. Unfortunately for me, I don't have a Linux machine in any form in my house anymore, so... Shadowverse, that's bad, Shadowverse, don't play that. This game looks amazing, it looks like a version of a game that I've played on Steam quite a few times. You awesome, just chilling? That's good. We're just finishing up with the news. I've just we're checking out the last of the Nintendo Direct with the Japanese stuff. This looks like a port to a old JRPG that I don't know if it's actually is or it's an indie covered one. It's a sports game. There's a few things here that will never come over, but they're just interesting. I mean, Earth Defense Force will probably come over because it's the new EDF. Well, a new EDF spin-off. In this, already seen this. Oh, right. Now the important one, guys. So there's a game that I got. This is my game of the show, by the way. So out of the Nintendo Direct stuff, some of the stuff was cool, but wait for it. This is fucking amazing. This took me by surprise, and I really, really hope this comes to the West. This is the one that really I want to play. So it looks like we've got a detective-y visual novel styled story-based game. And the character designs and the style are fucking amazing. So it's like a buddy cop sort of style story. Very notable voice actors doing it as well. But the art style may look very familiar to people. I didn't pick up on it initially because I was like, this art style looks really familiar. James Bond. No. So if you're a big fan of Mob Psycho or One Punch Man, this is Murata. This is Murata art 100%. And it looks super, super nice. It looks like you are a series of sort of, I guess, crime-solving dudes that you can choose who you pair up and stuff to solve a crime for, like, obviously, it looks like a series of crimes. Yeah. It looks very, very J-drama. Very, very fun. They don't really show too much of the combat, but they show a bit of this. So there's 3D models, there seems to be like rushing things, there's a map, you choose your characters. There's very, very limited as shown here. This is literally the first time we've ever seen this game. Buddy Mission Bondo. So, Buddy Bond, I think is what it's called. But yeah, I really want to play that. Like, there's another game that recently, only very recently got ported over to the West, which I want to play. And that's it's a very hot-blooded one. I've actually forgotten the name of it now. I have to keep an eye on it. I know it's coming to the West. I don't know if it's out yet, but it was like, it took forever for it to get brought over, to get localized. and I really hope that this game doesn't have the same problem, but it is Koei Tecmo. So we looked into it, and it's like pure Koei Tecmo money behind it. So it could actually end up over here in the West at some point, especially since Phoenix Wright has sort of cooled off again. But I think it would be a good one to come over for sure. Oh, wow, that was a lot of news. I felt like we that went quite a while today. Hope you guys enjoyed the news. It was a fun time. And next week is it next week? So next week, oh, actually, okay. So I'll say it now. I'm not going to be doing news next week because I will be taking off maybe the Friday, maybe the Saturday next week. So I probably won't be able to cover just the pre-release news around the PlayStation. I may end up pushing it into the Sunday if it is big enough news. But we will see. And if so, that's next gen stuff. It's like a few days before the next gen stuff. So there will be a shit ton of news, I would imagine, over the next week. And especially post that even. So the next 2-3 weeks might be very busy for us talking about the news, but we'll see how it goes. Depending on it, I might end up returning to the 2 news a week, dependent. But I also want to have a look at the Game Awards. Game Awards will be in December 11th. So we have about a month for the Game Awards. But yeah, I think that will be interesting to see how much news we actually get, and I'm very excited for the next generation. Holy shit, I felt like I did a lot of talking. It's already 2 o'clock. Maybe I should do an hour of... We'll do an hour or so of Final Station, I think. I think that's what we ended up getting voted for. What ended up winning? It was Final Station. So I think we'll do an hour of that, and then we'll swap on over to Monster Hunter. Hey Waffles, how you going? Guys, if you want to go check out a Pokemon streamer with a very cute boy, very cute doggo, comparative to me as my cute self as a cat, go check out Waffles Good Boy. Oh my god, your new icon, Waffles. Wow. How you doing today? You doing well? That's good. November is filled with awesome media such as Shadowlands. Oh my god. Warlock, we have to talk about... I didn't talk about... Oh shit. Okay, news isn't over. Thank you, Warlock. You've just reminded me we're not done with news. We've got one more thing I need to cover because I forgot. Alright, here we go. I'm going there.
Nothing.
Time. Wow. PS5 launch. Ready Player 2 is being published? I didn't know that. I'm surprised they actually got an extra movie, but here you go. Is it a book or the movie, Warlock? I had a fan draw it for me. That's what I loved it. Yeah, you have those moments sometimes, Waffles, where you get some little drawings and they're just wonderful, and you just can't help but use them. All my icons on social media are all drawn by people. So much WoW content. Don't remember how to heal well as a monk. Fist weaving too difficult. I've never played healing as monk actually. Just a book? Ah, okay, that makes more sense. The plot sounds shaky. I mean, I was never a big fan of Ready Player One myself, but I feel like people would be pretty into having a second one. Alright, let's just watch this, because it's mostly the same of what we've already seen before, but it's got extra stuff.
But through the jailer, control of our fate will at last be possible.
There is nowhere to hide. Death comes for you all.
Our duty is grim.
The in-game cinematics have gotten so good.
Many have been lost.
Remember this lesson. You know what must be done.
Why does the jailer's lips look so good?
Going to tear it all down.
The light is with me, even here.
Nothing escapes the law.
But yes, for more explanation, that was the story trailer and announcement of the release date of Shadowlands, the expansion to World of Warcraft, the latest one. And yeah, in-game cinematics look really good. It's got a lot of the stuff we've already seen before in the previous cinematic. But holy shit, kind of want to play this one. As much as I'm fucking frustrated with that game, and maybe one day I'll be happy. I don't know. But if the writing at least looks better, this looks like we're having the Legion situation where we have one off bad, one good year bad. One bad year, one good year. One bad year, one good year. So it's like we had one expansion bad, one expansion good. We had like if you look towards what happened with not Battle for Azeroth, terrible. Legion, very good. I've actually forgotten the name. Warlords. Thank you, CJ. I had a mental blank on it. Warlords, very, very bad. Mostly because of content and stuff like that. That expansion could have actually been alright, but the amount of content from that was insane. But yeah. I like modern WoW. It's a good gameplay loop. I like leveling, CJ. I think the leveling is really nice. I didn't really like any of the post-game stuff. The post-game was clumsy as absolute living fuck, this expansion. From release to when you come back to it, like just, it's very, very clumsy. The story has been atrocious. The story is just been falling apart. They need to discard Sylvanas as a story point so hard. Her as a driving force is terrible. It's not good. The identity that WoW was in terms of a small scale world, like the stories were quite small. Now we're on a cosmic level and it's just insanely huge and over the top and bloated. Yeah, I think that's just what WoW is from now. They've opened Pandora's box. It is open. We've met the Titans. We now know what the old gods are. We now know what death is. These three things alone are so big, let alone all the extra stuff they're adding into the world. If you want good lore, like summarize, go check out Belluar. I think he's a very, 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 very amazing channel when it comes to WoW lore. There's a couple of other ones. Like if you want speculative and sometimes frustrating comments, go check out Pyromancer. But yeah, if you need to catch up on some of this lore, because holy shit, there's a lot that's happened over the past few months just in establishment for this universe. Maybe go check out those spaces. But yeah. Right, I was so pumped for Warlords of Draenor, and then midway it felt like they just gave up. Yeah. Just kill Sylvanas off already. Have it throw it later. It's so frustrating because I know people that are diehard Sylvanas fans that love her more than ever. And she just feels like an epitomized version of like when you have this situation where people say dislike certain sects of the government for left or right or whatever. And I feel like Sylvanas is very much like, why did people like her? It feels very much one of those types of characters. And I don't think she's very well written. I don't think she establishes very much for the lore that is good. She is one of the most pulled apart story characters just in terms of like conceptual. And I think they hedged too much on her, but you know, not sure where to go after Shadowlands. Fight the Void Lords and then not sure. Yeah, I don't know, Warlock. The thing is, they seem to be taking into a cosmic spectrum. So if you guys have never played like, say, D&D or Warhammer and things like that, I feel like they're trying to do a situation where they're trying to expand the universe so it is sort of nebula. So no one story is going to be the driving force. It's a series of smaller storylines, and that you'll be dealing with whatever the big bad situation is. So the pull and pull can always go forward. So in other words, they're making WoW in a situation where it can never end. We're having WoW could have the possibility of being eternal, which I'm not a fan of. I wanted WoW to end personally, because I kind of liked the idea of Sargeras being the final boss when it came to a story like this. But yeah, looks like that's no longer going to be the case, unfortunately. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Gimme chicken tendies, be they crispy or from Wendy's. Spend my hard-earned good boy points on kids' meal bull pit burger joints.
Hey, Rainbow. I was just affixing my avatar. I just noticed something annoying about him. But yeah, I am excited for Shadowlands just to see how the writing team have approached when it's an expansion that is purely new stuff that they are mostly in control, but we will have been characters returning because any of those individuals you saw in that trailer get pulled into the Shadowlands. So we're going to have Thrall, we're going to have Jaina, we're going to have a whole heap of other ones. So I'm going to say a bad word. Are you ready? Heck. I'll undo you, Rainbow. Heckin' dangness. You feel like a caps lock day? It's a yelly day. I also think it's funny when in-game characters don't know who I am. Excuse me, I'm literally the head monk of all monks in WoW. Yeah, Legion. I think Legion, they didn't quite know what they were doing in a sense, and they made it so that we were approaching some sort of end game, and then they turned a corner at some point and was like, fuck it, we'll make the game keep going forever. Because it did almost feel like Legion was planned to be the last expansion at some point there. But yeah, I don't know. A long way since I killed Edward Van Cleef. Exactly. That's the thing. It's like, we're fighting gods. Like, the fact that the Titans now exist. So we've gotten a WoW rant speculative area now. Sorry. This is what the stream has become. But, we had a situation where, like, Titans were like, we thought they created the universe. Now we know that they didn't. Now we know that they are big old liars and they just seem to be jailers of the universe. And we have Titan++ exists, whatever the fuck they are, which appears to be the jailer. There's a whole heap of crazy fucking lore stuff that's like, everything's so expansive now. Like, everything's so big, and it's like, remember when you used to fight boars and that was actually a sizable threat? Well, you as tiny man now has to deal with cosmic forces. So it's very strange. Like, I don't know. But yeah. Too far. Mute the streamer. Mute the streamer. You can't mute me. I've got all the power here. I'm not tiny man. Tiny man. Hey, Arkadav. Sorry, I fell into WoW lore stuff because the trailer just dropped. Have you looked into the Ashes of Creation? I'm very excited for it. They'll release it in a couple of years. The Ashes of Creation? What is that? Is that the book that's being written? Oh, it's this game. I don't actually know too much about this game. Who is actually making this? Kinda looks like an MMO, like a older MMO. Is it Korean? Looks kind of Korean. Intrepid Studios. Californian. Okay. No, I didn't know about this one. Code Warlock. Sure, I'm a dwarf. I'm basically the Dalai Lama. Are you? I don't know about that, CJ. Dalai Lama wouldn't fight. I'm also happy that almost spook time. Very excited. I imagine that makes sense as why capitals are happening today. The Western Main Studio. Okay, yeah, I don't really know about that one. So yeah, I'll show that off if you guys haven't seen it. This is Ashes of Creation. It kind of looks like a mobile game. I'm not gonna lie, Warlock. Like, is it? I imagine this is a game that's kind of got some scalability to it, but kind of looks like a old school game. Looks very retro in some elements. I don't know when they started development. Maybe this is just early screenshots, but yeah. In Legion, the monk quest chain ends you up with the head monk being killed and often your character replacing him. Yeah, but the Dalai Lama didn't inherit being the Dalai Lama as a title from surviving warfare and then going and waging warfare. Like, it's a bit different. He symbolizes a different thing. Most of the newest content is streamed from Intrepid. A lot less images, and one of them are early tests. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I remember some talking about that. Isn't that MMO with the breakable terrain and stuff? Oh, really? It actually kind of looks like it. What I'll say, it reminds me of the group that made the new Baldur's Gate game, Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3. Larian Studios. It looks like Larian Studios sort of style for how the terrain and stuff is sort of being interacted with. Because I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3. I really want to play it. I'm putting it off. I'll probably play it with friends. I love Baldur's Gate 2. 1, I can't really remember. I've definitely played it. I just don't remember it too much. But I fucking love Divinity 1 and 2. So it is in Unreal 3, Unreal 4. Yeah, that probably is some sizable part of it. But the art style definitely looks very similar to this sort of how their art style goes. There's a lot of Western ones that I feel like have almost a very similar sort of look to them, unfortunately. So it becomes a bit of a blurred thing where it's like, you know, it's a fantasy RPG world, and you're like, which one? Because it can just sort of blur sometimes. There's so much they're doing, so I can't exactly give the best description, but it's an open world MMO where players can create and run the world. Cities sprout up as players. Oh, so it's kind of like Arc-Age? Was it Arc-Age? Arc-Age kind of had that. What happened to Arc-Age? Village Road's still going. Currently has massive like financial issues because people have to buy plots of lands and stuff like that. I never played it. I always put it on the build to play, but I never got around to it. And it sounded very grindy because it is a Korean MMO, and that's unfortunately something goes with them. But yeah. They do borrow many successes from Arc-Age and a lot from Lineage too. Oh, okay. Alright. That makes sense. Alright. Cool. Well, I feel like we got pretty derailed, and that's sometimes what happens with the news, but I like that. I like to... That's the thing. I want to... That's the point of the news, in a sense, for you guys, is I would rather have a discussion about talking about the industry and games that are coming out and see what you guys are interested in than me just playing whatever and being forcing things upon you. Because there's a fuckload of stuff that's out there, and it's one of those things where it helps me gauge what you guys are actually into, because I know so much about the industry in terms of just games coming out and things I like and things that I think that you guys might like, but it's hard for me to do it unless you guys give me feedback. And I think something like this is a good way for you to be like see what you guys are excited for and stuff like that. And whoa, hey Al, how you going? What the hell? Interesting. Al, it gave me the number of how much you were rating with, and I think they reverted the change. I think that's actually a good change. Thank you, Al. Guys, if you're not already following Al, please go do so. I mean, my auto shout out is already doing it. What were you playing today? I'm emotional and shaking. What happened? What happened, Al? Also, yes, Nintendo Direct. No More Heroes. Go buy No More Heroes, please. It's very cheap on the Switch, and you should go buy it because it's amazing and it's great. I think Twitch re-engaged on the raid alerts. I saw a 3 raid go off last night. Yeah, okay, so they fixed it. Alright, good. I'm glad with that. I really hated that. But yes, I appreciate it, Al. I now get my alerts again, so easier for me to shout out people as well. Amnesia? Oh, okay. We're in horror time, I see. Because didn't the Amnesia collection just came out, I believe? But I probably will not be playing things like that. Just to preface, we are going to be playing spooky games over the next week, but I will not be playing anything of the sort that is like Amnesia or anything. I'm not a spooky horror fan like that. I'll be playing horror-themed games more so. I'm not in the vein that Samurai was doing, where he's playing fucking kids games or like Castlevania from the SNES, like. But yeah, you're gonna be playing more horror games a lot. Actually, Al, I will say that you probably want to check out my normal Monster Hunter stream. There's a game that you play a lot of that I think I'm going to be playing on stream with Buns and Prince. So for horror times. I'm just excited for my new farming games. Oh, Seasons of Ages. Yeah, we were talking about that one earlier. I think we had a few people that were looking at it, but keen, not keen sort of thing. But how you been going, Brookie? I'll also shout out Brookie. If you guys don't already follow Brookie, please go give her a follow also. Oh, you're playing Genshin. I feel like I've seen you play Genshin quite a few times, Brookie. Yeah, fuck man, that game's so huge. I saw someone play Duke Nukem Forever in Spooky Month. I guess, I mean, I don't know if that really counts. I was thinking about Doom Archdove, because my friend actually gave me a code for Doom Eternal. So I actually can put Doom Eternal on the list. I don't know if my computer will be able to handle streaming and playing that game at the same time, especially since my games hard drive's been playing up. But fuck, I really well want to like play that game. I think it would be a very good one to play on stream. It's horror-esque. But it's not necessarily horror. That's true, Al. Hey, I've been doing well. How about you? Yeah, I've been doing alright. We had a good old news session today. We've almost done the news for 2 hours today. I'm a madman who talks too much about video games, and I feel like this is my little space to just be insane. So at least now we can probably play a game. So I'm gonna do a quick look very, very, very shortly, but we've been slightly derailed. So we'll probably play I think we're playing Final Station. We'll stick with Final Station to stay on the horror theme, and I'll play Hyrule Warriors next week. I think is what we'll do. Even though I will miss the wave train that everyone playing it, but sometimes that's a good thing to do. But I took everything off the rails. Thanks, Warlock. I appreciate it, man. It's good when that happens. It means I can talk to you guys easier. That way I have some guidance as a conversation point. Don't fuck up your date. All right. What are we doing? Where's Steam? Steam. I have no idea how long we'll play this for. I'm already quite late. It's already 2 o'clock. Normally I finish up in about 20 minutes ish to go play Monster Hunter, but I might go a little bit longer.